You're good to go now, Shirley. Since you have determined the key attributes for the position, you can review the resumes your TA partner has sent to you, looking specifically to see if a candidate checks off the boxes.
Are there other things I should consider when reviewing resumes?
Yes, indeed. Write these down as they are important.
Okay, I will.
You might see things on a resume that you will want to probe into further, so you should write down questions to ask that address those.
Like what?
For example, you might see gaps between jobs. You should ask why that is. It might be that the candidate needed to take time off to take care of an ailing family member, or took a gap year to go backpacking around the world. It's important to probe further to obtain all the facts. Or you might see a situation in which a candidate has moved to a job that has less responsibility than their previous one. There might be a good reason for it, but it's something you need to ask. If you're done with your coffee, Shirley, I'd like to go back to my office now.
Sure, that's fine. I think what will help me is to check out the LinkedIn profiles of the candidates I'm considering.
I agree that LinkedIn and other professional relevant sites could be useful in getting a more comprehensive picture of a candidate. But, in general, you have to be careful with social media.
I think it's the candidates that need to be careful about social media, not me.
Actually, it goes both ways. You need to think about your own social presence because they will look you up too. The trouble with researching a candidate on their social media profiles is that you inadvertently may make a decision on them based upon dress, appearance, affiliation, political view, activities, etc. Do not immediately disqualify an otherwise strong candidate based on something you didn't like in their online presence.
Now that I've determined the key attributes for my open role, and I've reviewed their resumes for their work histories, what other types of questions should I be asking?
There are 3 types of questions that you should ask each candidate: behavioral, technical, functional, and motivational fit questions. Let's take a high-level look at each one. As I said earlier, the bulk of the interview is used for behavioral questions. Behavioral questions ask them to recount a specific moment in time where they ran into that situation, problem, challenge, etc., and they explain to you how they work through it so that you can get an understanding of how they work.
Right. Like that question I got from Mike during my interview.
Correct. Technical functional questions are things related to skills required for the job.
Oh, you mean questions related to hardware, software, or IT?
Not necessarily. For our purposes, technical means job-related questions. For example, how many words per minute can you type? Or, talk to me specifically about the volume of business you transacted at XYZ company.
That makes sense. So what does that last one, motivational fit questions, mean?
Motivational fit questions are more about how the candidate will interact with people on your team, with your business partners, clients, etc.
I'm glad you're telling me all this, Amy. But to make this easier for me, do you have a sample list of questions for each type of question?
I'm glad you asked me that. I've put an interviewing guide document in the Resources tab. Download that and you will see lots of examples.
Phew. I will absolutely do that. Thanks, Amy.
Of course. However, something to keep in mind is that during the interview, you'll be asking a lot of questions. It is important to understand which questions are illegal to ask. Let's see how well you can do in determining which is which.